Let's give these guys a round of applause. Good. It's very hard to the first one to go. 3, 2, 1, action. Hide that card. Hide that card, girl. Good. Next. Next. Good, let's give a round of applause for our two actors. Audience, what did you notice? What do we think their cards were? What do we think? Let's talk about her first. She came in first. What was Kaylin? What was her status, do we think? Why do you think it was that? Yeah.
I think that she was medium.
She was medium, somewhere in the middle? How come?
Because she didn't act like she was a king, like she was like a poor person.
Okay, she didn't act totally like poor or helpless, right? But she didn't act like she was very powerful. So does anyone have a guess as to what her card might be around? Yeah. Like a 6? Anyone think she was lower than a 6? Okay. Anyone think she was higher than a 10? Okay, so like 6 to 10. Okay. What about this guy? What do we think he had on his card? Yeah. Okay, so why do you think he was in the high range? Do you have any clues?
When he came in, he was kind of like bragging because he was like overconfident of himself.
Okay, he came in like he was bragging. Did anyone else notice how much noise he came in, right? Made the most noise, he was stomping, right? What else? What else?
He also kind of acted like if you were like this is like and kind of like he's related to like his king, so he would probably have like the king card.
Okay, so he's up near a king because he came in sort of acting like royalty. Good. And what about David? What do we think about David's entrance? Yeah. Yeah, it was sad and lonely. He sat here and pulled the chair this way around and didn't even look at anybody. So where do we think his card might be around? Yeah.
3.
Like around a 3. Can you guys show your cards?
That was right.
Can you guys show your cards? Nice. Close. Queen, you said high near a king. 8, you said somewhere in the middle. 3. Nice job. Round of applause for you. Good. Excellent. So you guys can play this, now that you know this game, this lacrosse can have you guys play this game to practice more about how to make an entrance, right? Because whenever we make an entrance on stage, our character's coming from somewhere, so it's a good way to practice. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at our first scene between two people from two gentlemen of Verona. Okay, so this is the scene between Lucetta and Julia, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to talk about the status and the power that these characters have while we read the scene. Just knowing who they are, knowing who Julia and Lucetta are, who has more status at the beginning, going into the scene, who's in control? Julia, yeah, she's the lady of the house, right? So we know that Julia is the lady of the house. She should have more power and control than Lucetta, but it's going to change as the scene goes on. So we're going to look for those moments where maybe Lucetta gets a little bit more power and when Julia loses a little bit. Hear my voice say, the queen in green screamed.
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 Excellent. So, what was that like reading Shakespeare with your partner? Fun?
Yes.
Hard?
No.
No? Okay. Well, who would like to volunteer to come up here with their partner and act out the first half of that game? And this time the challenge is to, while you're reading, to add a gesture. That's this word? Who knows what this word means? Gesture. What's a gesture? Yeah.
It's like a movement.
It's like a movement, right? So you can do some sort of movement. Okay? Olivia, your group? Good. Okay, and remember to look at each other when you're done reading. Let's give these ladies a round of applause for that. 3, 2, 1, action.
Good say, Lucetta. Now we are alone. What is still then come to me to fall in love? I, the dead, so you stumble not unspeakly. What thinkest thou of the fair Sir Eglonor? As of the night is here. Thus our lovely day.
You guys see the beginnings of some movements and some gestures there?
No.
Yeah, right? There was a little bit of walking, right? And Julia had a nice gesture at the beginning.